Hey y'all, my name is Ashley and I am going to be a 14th year teacher in Texas, and this is going to be a 6 weeks planning with me. So we have already started. We've been here for maybe an hour working, and I'm just going to kind of take you through some of the process that we do to plan. The reason we do this is because it makes it so much easier on us throughout the school year. So we plan 6 weeks at a time because that's what our district does for a grading period. So we're basically planning for a grading period. And the way that we do this is we get together for one day and we plan for the next 6 weeks. We get our lesson plans done, we get all of our copies made and everything done like that. The only things I don't plan for is small group, because that's literally, you gotta be doing that as they're here, so you can make adjustments. And I don't plan for, what was the other thing I don't plan? Oh, intervention. We don't plan for intervention either. We just come up with a plan for our main lessons in class, and if we need to make adjustments, we make adjustments as needed. Like I said, everything's typed up, but this is not what I submit. When I make adjustments, it's what I submit to my principal. That's where the adjustments go on my typed up lesson plans. This is just like a rough draft of what we want to do. And then when I go to type them up, I can make adjustments there, or I can, if I need to push something back because the week before it didn't work, or we spent too long on this, I can do that. But I'm going to take you through some of the process that we do for this, because it just makes things so much easier. I have been teaching 14 years. I've only been doing the 6 weeks planning. I think this is our 3rd year to do it, and it's just very, very nice. It took me that long. I saw another creator do this, and I was like, let's try this, and it has helped so much. We spend one day, one Saturday out of the 6 weeks coming up here and planning for the next 6 weeks, and it helped so much. If you did not watch my last video, I will leave it up above, but that also helps. Doing a scope and sequence for the whole year has helped with the 6 weeks planning, because I refer to that scope and sequence when I'm making my lesson plans. Like, I look at that, see what I'm supposed to be doing. I've already made adjustments on writing because I think it's going to take a little longer than what the scope and sequence suggested. So yeah. Okay, so I'm working on some copies that we got made for the first couple weeks. I'm going to show you our plans in just a second, kind of show you what my head is thinking for centers and all that, because I'm kind of changing things up next year, and I don't know how it's gonna work. You can kind of see a sneak peek. So everyone's gonna get a decodable, but I have this pack that has like decodables that are differentiated, so that's what we're doing. So everyone's gonna get one of those every single week. We're gonna do, I have 2 different versions of this, but we're gonna do a grammar every single week. Have 2 for differentiation, low and a high. But this is what I'm thinking about for these things, is doing folders again for centers and then differentiating it. I wasn't doing that last year because the last class could not handle folder work. They literally had to have their work handed to them, and they couldn't handle rotating. This is another one. So yeah, that's where we're at. But I'm gonna go and continue working on these. All right, guys, I just finished sorting all of our 6 weeks copies that we made. I'm wrapping up these real quick. I will show you everything that I have planned. Well, not everything. I'll kind of walk you through like my thoughts and stuff for next year, and yeah, maybe you can leave your opinion if I'm being smart or if I'm being dumb. Okay, I know I'm still talking about 6 weeks, but I just cleaned off my love wall, and I was putting your papers in here. And if you were a new teacher and you're watching this, keep all of your stuff. Just keep it. I have 2 of my absolute most loved kids that did this teacher appreciation thing last year. I kept theirs. Sorry, it's gonna make me cry, but I get things like this all the time. Coming up the name, because they know I love Minions. That's how I've gotten that collection so high. But things like this was stuff from this year. This one drew me and her. Oh, I mean, just keep their artwork. I don't keep it unless it has their name on it. That way when I'm flipping through, I can know who did it for me. But like, I just have some of the best artwork. Like, I mean, the cute little, so cute. Okay, so now I'm going to, I just keep it in the binder. I call it my love notes. A lot of people will call it their why book. I just call it my love notes, and I'm gonna hole punch it, and I just have like all the ones that I've kept over the years. Some I just tucked in the back because I didn't want to mess it up by punching it. But oh my god, that's that same kid. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna finish putting all this away. It just makes me sad because this kid's in middle school now. She still will give me a hug all the time. Every time I see her, I get a hug from her. So I'm gonna finish a whole bunch of these, and I'll talk to you guys in a little bit. I'm gonna walk you through our lessons and stuff, but I went ahead and did that while we were taking a break. So I probably look disgusting, and it's okay. I've been working hard. After I talked to you this morning, when I was sorting all those papers, I just got right to work on cleaning. I went through all of the upper cabinets, got them organized, got them situated. All of the bottom cabinets, I have my skirt that usually goes there washing. I got some of the chair backs here. Some of them are still washing. We will washer and dry our hair because we have pre-K, so they use it for them. And then I got also chipped a nail, like this one. Sorry, chipped this nail doing all this. Got my whole closet organized. Took down all of my love notes, put all like new stickers to begin the year up there. And then I started working back here. I got this first cabinet completely cleaned, got the top cleaned. I'm working on the second one. This one's gonna be it for me. Like, not it, but like this is what's gonna take me down. I have until 5:20 to work. I have this cabinet, I have this shelf. I need to move this up top. I've kind of gone through those shelves already, but I need to go through them. I pulled out my small group stuff right here because I need to put the stuff in here. I have this that a kid gave me, so I need to figure out what I want to use this for. Pulled out my timers that I honestly forgot I had because they were shoved in that closet somewhere. Pulled out my timers that I got in the middle of the year so I could use them in small group, and never not once used them in small group because, like I said, I forgot I had them. They're also magnetic. This board is not magnetic, so I can't use that board for like things like this. But so excited about these. I'm gonna use them next year for like fluency and stuff, so they can time themselves on like their sight word tests and things like that. So I got this. Found another thing for my smelly spots, so I need to put this on my thing. Found these that I can keep back here for small group. Cheers is what we're gonna do. And then yeah, I found these. Didn't really have these. These are mechanical pencil refills. I totally thought I didn't have any. Anyways, I'm going to show you our plans and what we did for them. So give me a sec. Let me get you set up, and I'm going to show you kind of like how I planned, what the plan is, and go through with the steps of how we plan for the first 6 weeks. Okay, guys. So this is the first week of school. So what we did is I used my scope of sequence that I already showed you, and I do have it printed and I do have it printed and put in the back, so I can always have it to refer to it if I ever need it. But I use this week I did not use the scope and sequence. I based my plans on last year, so I pulled out my old planner from last year from Calipa Plan, and I just last year we actually had a 5-day week. This year we only have a 4-day week, so I kind of had to make some adjustments. But I'm going to go over these like the first week of school and go over it a little bit more with you. But what I did is the way that I planned this time was every day, because I'm not doing like reading, writing, phonics. Every day had a color, so I could easily see this is all the stuff for Monday, this is all the stuff for Tuesday, whatever. And then if it's an activity that we're doing that week, I boxed it, is the way I did it for the first couple weeks. And then I have all of my like notes that I made as I was planning. I was writing down things that I needed to do to make sure I had done. That's how I did it for the first week of school. Pretty much kept it the same as last year, got all the copies done. This week, I also referred to my notes from last year because, well, it helps. Use your planners, keep your planners and use them. So I referred to my planner from last year, and then this is what I came up with. So the way that I did this is the same way, because I'm not really we're not doing reading per se, we're doing testing this week. So Monday and Tuesday, we're doing testing in our first block, which means whatever we have planned, our first block is not gonna get all of it. So I did the same thing where I boxed any activities that we have. And what I did last year is I highlighted things that we actually did. So you'll notice that I don't have like routines and procedures on any of these days. I'm going to do it as they naturally come up. in conversation. So that's my plan for this year. And then, so I do have this week, we are starting to practice center. So I have all that information down here as well. We are starting our writing curriculum just because it has like a beginning lesson, foundational beginning for them. So I have that here as well. And then we are going to open up our dojo store for the first time, and we're going to start our first life skills. So I have this here. And then I think on Fridays, I'm going to do our poem. Every Friday is what I think we'll do. And then we're going to start our chapter book this week. We're reading The Wild Robot this year. And then I have, again, to-do list based on this week, all ready to go. Okay, this is where it changes. So now, as you can see, I'm more focused this way across instead of going down. So reading is all one color. So I can easily see all my red stuff is one color. All my orange stuff is writing. All my yellow stuff is phonics. All my green stuff is my center stuff. And then this just kind of got all mumbled. This is actually my academic vocabulary for my red. I just didn't have room to write it up here. And then this, I did blue for Dodie, but this is stuff for everything. Thank you. And then this is, of course, the to-do list. So this week, the only difference I did is I boxed our skill, whatever our teak is that week, I boxed it, the teak that we're focusing on. And then for reading, I have our skill, our teak, our read aloud, our theme, the theme for the book, the character trait for the book, any vocabulary words from the book, and then sight words. And then here I have a vocabulary word that we're going to do. So every day we do this vocabulary word and we talk about it in different ways, different things that they would see on map, just to help them. And then I have what we're doing on Friday. Friday is always different. So this Friday we're doing an art craft, so I don't have my other stuff here. Writing, we're following Susan Jones's. I told y'all that. So this is kind of what she has mapped out. So this is what I'm doing. Now I did do mine differently in the next coming weeks, and you'll see that, and I'll explain it. The only thing she doesn't have is grammar, so we're following the HMH grammar. So this week is common nouns for people and animals, and I do have like a pack that we are doing for that, so I will try and leave it linked down below. And then I need to get my writing sample this week, and then I also put like a little note. Where did I put it? Oh, this is popcorn day. We're doing like one theme day every week. I guess I didn't put it here. Oh, this is my popcorn stuff that I need to remember. We're doing our life skill Friday awards we're doing short A and short I. This is based on our structured literacy, and then head gritty, what we're doing for that. And then my centers, I have checks because I've already printed them and made them and all of that. Our academic vocabulary for this. So, and then my teammate, she's doing. And then moving into September, I do have the same format. I did my chapter books. I wrote in black so they would stand out, like what pages, what chapters I'm doing, because this book is kind of like shortish. Like the chapters aren't like a normal chapter book. They have like one page for one chapter. But anyways, so this week is So this is launching into our writing block, and the way that I'm going to do it is day one, I'm going to do my turn. So I'm going to go over the lesson. I'm going to talk about all of it. I'm going to do the my example. We're going to work through my example. And then I'm going to send them on day 2, review my example, review the lesson, and then they can go do their lesson. It just takes too much time if you do hers and you don't have a huge writing block. It takes too much time in one go to do all of it. So I'm breaking it up into 2 days. So that's what you will see for my writing. And then with our grammar, it came with like little tests. That's what we're going to do on these days. And you'll notice I don't have any of my small group stuff in here because I don't put small group in here. They go in a completely different area. And then this is short A, short U, and then of course everything else is the same. So this week we have Labor Day, and we have pep rally this day. Oh wait, did I have pep rally? We had pep rally this day too. So that just means, so you'll notice that we don't have our dojo store. We lose our intervention that day. Same thing here, we lose our intervention. This week I got smart and I started writing down the pages that I was printing for our phonics decodables. For our level comprehension. So I got smart and started doing that here, and it really helped. But everything is the exact same. So yeah. And we're doing our 6 planning this day. And then this week we are doing a camping day. So I have all that. I did not write down the stuff I'm doing for camping day because she did not print all that. I need to talk to her about that. But everything is the exact same. We're actually doing our Friday because it's the end of the 6 weeks. So yeah, that is the way that I plan it in here. And then I take this information, I type it up, I make any adjustments I need to, and I turn it into our principal. But yeah, that is the way that we did it in our planners. And then I have all of the copies. If you remember, in this drawer is how I keep all of our 6 weeks copies at once. So the way we were able to do this and the way we were able to stay organized is we have that cart that helps us. So we use the cart to organize our 6 weeks at a time. And then any overflow just goes into the bottom ones, because honestly, I don't even think I have anything in the bottom ones. So that is what we did for our 6 weeks planning. We take our lessons, and as we're planning our lessons, we go ahead and start printing our masters. And then when we're done planning that week, we go and we start our copies, and then we start planning the next week. And then when she's going to make the next copies, I'm sorting the week before. So I also have all of these that I need to prep. So that will probably going to be in a video for you guys. I need to prep my folders, but I have to wait till we get them. So I do have my AR folders, so I could go ahead and start prepping those, but I don't have any other folder other than our AR folders to prep. So that's going to be a whole nother thing. But I found some home folders I'm going to use. But yeah, I am just like, you'll see. This is my mess of things that I need to take home because I need to work on them this summer. So expect some prep with me's coming. And then I have this. So from here over to the front, left in my room to organize, and then everything else is organized and I can go home. But that is our 6 weeks planning. If you have any questions or want to know anything specific, just let me know. Everything is based off of that scope and sequence that we came up with, which is based on either our curriculum or supplemental curriculum that we're using, or like right now we're using a TPT curriculum for our writing. So just let me know if you have any questions or anything like that, and I will try and answer it as best as I can. But that is how we do our 6 weeks planning. We get together one day a week, one day a month, and we use our scope and sequence to help us plan the lessons. And then as we're planning the lessons, we're thinking about, okay, what do I want to do with them? And then we also make adjustments. So like the next 6 weeks, if something wasn't working, we will fix it. Or even within the week. So if I tried something out the first week, and the second week it doesn't work, I just won't do it again. Even though I have the copy, I usually put those in our fast finisher cart. We have a cart over here. That cart right there, and I will put it in the fast finisher cart, and they can flip it over and they can draw on it on the back or whatever, because they love doing that. So that is where we are. That is what we are doing. I am going to finish organizing my room and getting it ready for summer, and then I'll talk to you guys later. So thank y'all so much for watching. Bye y'all.